Hi guys, Matt from the Big River here. We got more fish this week. Got fish, plants, and a saltwater order this week. So lots of stuff to check out. Here's the first part of it right here, right now. First thing out of the box is reticulated hill stream loaches. We got those, got a bunch of them this week actually. Special order around the house, so we got extras. Got a good batch of platies this week also. Restock on those guys. We're about out, so we got in some cool colors. And another restock. That's a giant bluewood vampire shrimp. We call them vampire shrimp. They do this so they kind of look like Nosferatu. They are a filter feeder, so completely innocuous in the tank and get big, up to 6 inches. Let's see, cardinal tetras. Got a triple batch of cardinal tetras this week. We'll see how they hold up. We've been out for a while, so we just ordered a bunch of them. Look a little blanched in the bag. Hopefully they'll come out just fine. Of course, cardinals are on our Tetra special. Buy 4 more, get 25% off just for subscribing to our channel. And let's see, cobalt blue zebras. Got a few different African cichlids on this order. Split order of freshwater, actually 3 different freshwater orders. This one had at least 2 African cichlids on it. Glass cats, restock on those guys as well. Those, we used to call them my skeleton crew. You can see right through them. More reticulated hill stream loaches, as I said. Get a double box of those. And 1 box down. Let's see how many. 3, 5, 6, 8 here. Probably 4 more on the next order. Maybe a 12 box, 13 box order this week. Let's see. All right, next is more fish, as you might expect. First thing out of the box, we have a pleco. This is a blue phantom pleco L128. A little tiny guy. Not that bad a size, about 1.5 inches on him. Nice looking little fella. Elephant nose. That's a big fish in the making. They can be a foot. They do really well in schools or by themselves. They're African warmered elephant nose. African butterfly fish, more African imports. Got a little group of those this week because we've been selling out of them so quick. Another pleco. This is a golden nugget L18 pleco. Itty bitty guy. Those are a strict biofilm feeder. They do great on algae because they go after the biofilm so hard, but make sure you have lots and lots of wood. Even do some kind of biofilm supplements for them. Another African butterfly for you. Let's see. Who else? Rocket clown killies for the nano aisle. Rocket clowns are really great jumpers, as you can imagine. All killies are. And here's a goldie pleco, itty bitty guy. They'd be 10 inches plus. We have a big one here, but this is a little one. They have a great pattern when they're little. They're pretty when they're big, but they're fantastic when they're little. Black ghost knife, another oddity for you. Those guys can be 14 inches, so be prepared. Emeraldized res boras, we got a batch of those last week and sold out right away, so much fun, we did it again. Got some more for you. And always fun, bumblebee gobies, the Brachygobius doré, Finding Dory. Dwarf chain loaches, love these guys, got a little batch of these guys. In my opinion, one of the best choices for snail patrol in your community tank. They do like to be in a group. Here's another blue phantom. That one's bigger than the other one. I have almost 2 inches on that guy. It's a nice looking little fella. Blue phantoms can be 8 inches. There's another African butterfly. So 3 African butterflies, 2 blue phantoms, and a goldie. African dwarf frogs, restock on those. We ran completely out this week. Dwarf frogs have been having a bit of trouble not coming in great. Those look fantastic. Hopefully they'll hold up. Scarlet batis, itty bitty guys. They only get to about 1.25 inches or so. They kind of act like a little ambush predator, only tiny. People will put them in the shrimp tank. I'm sure that they'll pick off baby shrimp, but they look cute while they do it. Bright red and white stripes on them. Such a pretty little fish. Let's see. One more box. 3rd box. Big bags in this box. What do we got? Oh, orange pike. I like that guy. That is not a dwarf. That is an orange pike that gets good sized, and anything that says pike's going to be ornery. Cories. Got a few cories on this order. These are the bronze cories, or the green Aeneia cories. And and Singapore shrimp. We doubled up our order on these guys because we can't seem to keep those in stock either. Here's something we've been looking for a while. These are indigo barbs. The fella's been looking for these. I ordered a double batch. They gave me a single batch, and they look fantastic. Big and beautiful. Indigo barbs are one of the harder barbs to find right now. Beautiful on those. Looks like some of our rummies did not make this trip. Some of them did okay. We'll have to check to see. Those guys will quarantine out okay. Pea puffers are big this week. Nice size on the pea puffers. Restock on those. And another puffer. This is a Fahaka puffer. It's a large, but not large. Fahakas can be 18 inches. This guy looks like he's pushing 5 to me, so that's bigger than the last one. Last two we got. Very popular. Remember, they do not do well with friends. Well, they do well. Their friends don't do well. They'll eat them. Black neons, more for the Tetra Special. Buy 4 more, get 25% off of a black neon. And here is Madagascan rainbows. A couple, I think 3 different species of rainbow on this order. Madagascans are the first ones out of the box. Haven't been able to get those recently, so when they showed up on lists, we jumped at them, sold out, and restocked again. So very fun rainbow. They're really the non-rainbow of the rainbow group from a completely different area with a little bit of a different body shape. They look kind of like the Wapangas. Next out of the box we have guppies. Some koi tuxedo guppies. Last time it seemed like we ended up a male heavy group. I don't know if we got females on this group. There's 2 females at least. Looks male heavy again. Yeah, looks like 2 females and a bunch of males. So I guess so much for pairs on our koi tuxedos. Next is some ladies half moon candy female bettas. Got a couple batches of lady bettas this week. Pink kissing grommies. We don't get these very often, but we have a batch for you. They can get pretty big, 6+ inches on those guys, so bigger than you might expect, but very neat looking, cool way they kiss at each other. Here's your half moon koi bettas. Go with the candy bettas, so a nice batch of females. And here are some Harlequin rasporas, a nice schooling fish. Smallmouth on those guys, they do well in a relatively nano situation. Speaking of nano, here are some celestial pearl danios. Nice looking batch there. And more platies. I promised you lots of platies. We got a lot of platies. A few more cories. These are bandit cories, or the false bandits, the Melinis. Métis or Melinis are your bandit cories, and that is the Melini variety. More rainbows, promised those. These are the Herbaldaxel wrought-eye yellow rainbows. Look like black lines on them right now, but they'll color up when they get in the tank. One of my favorite rainbows. Of course, I haven't met a rainbow I didn't like, but those have a really nice bright yellow for the males in particular. Very dimorphic. The males are definitely a brighter, more beautiful animal. All right, that is 4 boxes down, 4 boxes to go. That's halfway, and then we go tomorrow. Later today, we'll be at the airport picking up plants. I doubt I'll film the plants. We usually don't, but the plant order will round us out nicely. Nice sized bikers this week. This is Pleptris indulcari, or Polypterus indulcari red biker. Got a little group of those guys. Nice size on them. Remember, they will get 2 feet. See this guy right here? That is not full size. They get even bigger. So when I say they get big, we're not kidding. Speaking of big, here are some Oscars. These are albino tiger Oscars. Came in a little bigger than average. Beautiful fish, but get really big, so make sure you have a place for them if you get those Oscars. Yellowtail spiny eel, very fun fish. They get about 11 inches, but for that are not a huge fish and not aggressive. Another tetra for the Tetra Special. These are neon tetras. Got a double batch of neons this week as well. More eels, zebra eels, or the Burmese zebra eels, we'll call them Macrognathus zebrinus. So very pretty eel. Cominados, restock on those guys. Sell out of those just about every week. Wow, these guys came in really tiny this time, which is different than the last batch that came in really big. So, oh well. Very cute. More eels. Eels, and more eels. 3 different types this week. These are the Siamensis, or the peacock eel, your most, longest standing, most recognized eel of the eel group. Neon tetras again. I told you double batch, and there they are. And more cories, Paleatus cories, or the peppered cories. I think that's it for our cory collection for the week. Alrighty, clear this cart up. And see what else we can pull out of our bag of tricks here. Next up is more platies. A nice batch of blue tuxedo platies. Got 4 different varieties of platy this week. And some South American cichlids. These are keyhole cichlids. Nice size on these guys, about twice as big as the last group we got. Keyholes only get about 5 inches, 4 inches maybe. Very peaceful South American cichlid. Diamond head neons, another tetra for the tetra special. Diamond heads have that brighter spot towards the head, which makes them called a diamond head neon. They're a cultivar of your regular neon. Here is another rainbow. These are turquoise rainbows. Good size on those guys as well. Got more fishes, yo-yos. These are actually a special order. Somebody needed a specific quantity, so we got them for them. Nice batch of yo-yo loaches. Great snail patrol. And here's more of those platies. These are actually the Hawaiian Variatus. Beautiful fish. And more whitefish. These are the snow white saccolophes, or Pseudotropius saccolophi albinos, which I call snow white saccolophi. African cichlid on those, obviously, Laguna type. Green tiger barbs came in pretty big this time. Nice and kind of a pale green, which sometimes call them a platinum. Another barb, these are rhombo barbs, or snakeskin barbs. Beautiful fish, get that green stripy spot pattern, which they call them the snakeskin barb because of it, I suspect. I know, Mr. Obvious there. Let's see what we got in the box. We prepped the boxes before the film and saw that our feeder guppies did not come in great this week. We should have a couple. Did get a nice batch of shrimp. These are blue shrimp, a large quantity of them. Next is some feeder comets. Seemed like I had somebody needed a bag of feeder comets. Maybe that was last week. Got in some Thai goldfish. Wow, those are really nice. Assorted batch of small Thai arandas, a little higher grade than what we average get. Like those. Red Rilly shrimp are really pretty cool, so you really ought to come down and get some. And here's some blue Rilly shrimp, or carbon Rillies, which are really cool also. A little variability to their size, but really happy to have them. And ghost shrimp, which are not as exciting to talk about as Rilly shrimp, but we still have them and need them. And then a big batch of cherry shrimp. So lots of shrimp on the order for you guys this week. Keep selling out. We keep buying more. That's how it usually goes. One more box. Should have some cool stuff in there. I think it's a redo on some of the Daniels we bought last week. Let's see what we got. Grab them out while I'm bent over here. Let's see. There's some guppies. A nice variety of guppies came in. Got some female guppies. Very small, but they look healthy, so that's good. Always happy to have some guppies to share. Black Moscows, a little extra special. And which are guppies? These are doctor fish. Got a batch of those last week. Sold out most of them, so I bought some more. Doctor fish are those ones that nibble the dead skin off you if you put your hands or feet in the water with them. And then we have more guppies. That is some sunsets and some more guppies. Those are some blue-tailed ones, I believe. And then giant Daniels. Got a batch of those last week, and somebody bought them before they even hit the tank, so we got a redo on that. And then we have some snails. We have 3 different types of snails this week. Spots and stripes on the neorites, and then we also got in Japanese trapdoor snails, which have that copper look to them. The greenish color of copper that's been underwater is what they're known for. So that's this part of this order anyway. We got plants in the air, and we should have another batch of fish and some saltwater. And just shortly, we'll be right back. And we're back, and I got a special guest today. This is my brother Ben. He's come over to play Name That Fish with us. Let's have some fun. I got saltwater fish in here and some specialty stuff. This ought to be a fun little order. First thing out of the box is not fish, though. That is blackworms, which are very popular for some. I hear they're tasty. Some more live food in here. We've got some reef nutrition stuff. The black top is the Phytofeast Live, and the white top is the Phytofeast Concentrate. So we carry a wide line of the reef nutrition. for your eating pleasure. Well, the eating of your saltwater tanks generally, though we have some freshwater options as well. All right, hop in. This box was not as light as that box. Let's see what we got. Newspaper and heat packs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotta have them.
Good start.
All right, we have, I said name that fish, but
That looks like a little crab.
it's a crab. It's not a fish at all. It was a trick question. That's a Silwessi panther crab. True freshwater crab. Hey, look at these guys. A little different variety than we've ever seen. These are fiddler crabs. Sorry, I jump in, don't give you a chance to guess. Fiddler crabs have one big claw and one little claw. And we get them in, their Ucca is the genus on them. And we used to get them all the time, the same little ones out of Florida, and they just dried up. I'm not sure if there's a change in their availability. Obviously a change in their availability, but I'm not sure why. More of these panther crabs. I think this guy's missing a leg, that's why they had him separated. Let us know. He's a B grade. You know, they grow those back in though. Not a fish.
Look like rubber bands.
That's rubber bands. Absolutely necessary piece of what we do, but not very exciting to film. All right, next up is...
Oh boy.
I'll try to give you a hint.
A lobster.
Very good. That's an electric blue lobster. Not a fish out of the box yet, but we are going to play Name That Fish, I swear. Here we go.
Oh, here's some fish. These look like polka dot fish.
They're polka dot fish. Very good. They call them a green scat, which is a brackish water fish. I've been bringing in more and more brackish fish, getting some really cool stuff. So I'm pretty excited to be able to offer some of those things. Scats have a poison spine on them. So when you're petting your fish and kissing them goodnight, make sure you don't pet the poison spine. It's one on the bottom. They're in the same family as rabbit fish, which also has a poison spine. Fox face. You ever heard of the yellow fox face?
Nope.
Well, just believe me, they have a poison spine.
Poisonous spine.
All right, next up we have...
Okay, here we go.
It's a whitefish.
It's a white angelfish?
You know, that's a good guess. Not accurate, but it's a good guess.
Okay.
These are pearl zebra, African cichlid. That's actually this aisle we're in, is the African cichlid aisle. We have fish here from all over the world. Let's see, I think we have 5 continents represented: Australia, Asia, Africa, South America, North America. We might even have some Europeans. So we got 6 continents? I bet we have 6 continents. All right, here we go. European's the hard one.
Is that an eel?
Well, not exactly, but you know, they kind of look more like a string, but their name would assume that they get a lot bigger.
Oh.
It'd be like something you would climb.
A ladder.
That looks like an eel.
Oh boy, a pole.
Well, kind of. Made out of fiber.
Oh, you got me.
Like a string. Tugging on a rope.
Rope. I got you.
Rope fish. Got a bunch of little ones. These are tiny, actually. They can get up to 2 feet. Let's see. Anything fun in here? That's another oddball cichlid that you probably won't be able to guess at. But they got the spots on there, kind of like leopard. But the South American version of that is the jaguar. So that's a jaguar cichlid.
Let's see that.
And it's from Central America, actually. I got a story about a jaguar attacking my mother-in-law when you have time. Monosabi. I haven't had these guys in a long time. These are cousins to the Mono argentus, obviously both called monos. These are silver with a black bar on them. Get pretty good size like that. Brackish waterfish as well. Lots of brackish from this particular outfit. Speaking of which, here's some mollies. These are Dalmatian mollies. I think you can guess why they call them Dalmatians.
I can see it.
Right? Yeah. They are actually quasi-brackish fish as well. You can put them in full-on saltwater. An African fish, I told you we had 5, 6 continents here. This is African butterfly cichlid. They're a little guy. They're the something Thomasi. Very neat little, really mellow, gentle little cichlid. I've done those in a community tank. Here is a big tetra, and they came in pretty good size too. These are Buenos Aires tetras. I bet you can guess that they're from Argentina.
Yep.
Buenos Aires area. There's not very many tropical fish actually from Argentina. This is one of the few. Next up is banded Borrelias. Oh my gosh, those are tiny. I've never had them that small.
Just little guys.
Yeah, they said they're wild caught and 1 inch. I'm like going, half an inch? I wonder if that's a species I've never seen or if they're just babies. I'm a real fan of Borrelias fish. They're ostensibly in the barb family or the Daniel family, some kind of cuperid carps. But there's a whole bunch of them. They run from like Pakistan all the way up to Korea. Every little tributary has their own version of them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they're like this big and sometimes they can get like that big. And each of them have different stripes or spots. They're really a neat variety of fish that we very rarely see here. I had to grab them. They didn't tell me what kind they were. So
how old do you reckon those ones there are?
I don't know. Those might be fry and just a few months old, or they might be full-size fish. I really don't have anything to go on those. The common name they gave me didn't have a scientific name, so I'm only guessing, which is part of the fun of what I do. Here is another lobster. That's a snowy white or a vanilla lobster.
Oh boy. And
some snails. These are, I think they're the mini Montanos. They had a different name on them. They called them mini yellow. Let's see when they come out of their shell how yellow they are. But they're supposedly a dwarf rabbit snail. I like the rabbit snails because they're a cone shape. The big guys can get 5 inches. They're from warmer water. A lot of your snails like relatively cool water, but will tolerate warm water. These guys actually do better in a warm water situation like 80 degrees. And they are a live-bearing snail. They have one little cow baby about every month, so very slow growing. Another one of those electric blue lobsters, decent size on these, a little bigger than the last group we got in. Whether you call it a lobster or a crayfish, I guess that's tomato. Let's see, red tiger severum. I've been having a hard time finding severums lately. Red tiger or river curie severums are one of my favorites. They don't look like much red on them right now, but they have a really gorgeous bright red ring around their neck and down their back, sometimes, or down their belly. Depending on the individual, they can be pretty variable. So neat severum. Severums are a big cichlid out of Central South America that can get about that big.
That's a pretty good size.
Yeah, up to a foot. Next up we have Habrosus corycats. I asked for 25, looks like we got 12. Been having a heck of a time finding these guys. They're a dwarf cory, as you can see they're pretty small. The big guy in there is almost full size. They don't get much more than about an inch full size. And one of the most popular cories we sell are those and the pygmy cories because they're great for the little nano tanks where people want tanks under 20 gallons and they want a cory for a cleanup crew so they don't outgrow it. This is not a nanofish, the opposite of a nanofish. Small now, huge later. You can literally be 5 feet and a couple hundred pounds. This is a red-tailed catfish.
It is a catfish.
Yeah, it is. See all the marbles there. Yeah, no, that was a baby monster in the making. And everybody asks, how long though? You'll be okay in a tank for a while, right? Yeah, like 5 minutes. They grow super fast. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but they are not a small fish for long. That is a super tiny baby. Here's another cichlid. These are African cichlids, of course. The bright orange color makes them red. Well, they're calling them orange zebra there. I thought I bought red zebras, but orange, red, tomato. Some of my tomatoes aren't even all red, right?
No.
Okay, we got another box, and that will finish us up. We got plants supposed to come in. I think they're actually going to finally get here this evening. They're supposed to be here last night. Luckily, it's plants that got delayed this time, not fish, because they'll tolerate a little extra time in transit. But when you get in to check out the new stock, check out the new plants. We got, a huge batch of new plants coming in for your perusal. Oh, wow. Okay, I have some saltwater. I almost forgot we had saltwater coming up. This one's called Bengal Cardinal. They are readily bred in captivity, but their habitats are being destroyed. So they're getting very close to critically endangered in the wild. In captivity, they've been being bred for decades. So they're one of the more prolific and successful captive bred stories in the saltwater hobby. I got a nice group of pygmy cories. Told you we got the Habrosus, been hard. The pygmies been equally challenging to find some days. Here I got a little bigger batch of those. You see how tiny they are. Fun thing about these guys is they're catfish, but they will imitate a tetra. So I'll get up in school with the fish that are swimming around like, I'm not a catfish, I'm a tetra, leave me alone. The little tetra that they imitate is really vicious little tetra. It's silver and black, kind of the same shading as these guys. And when you look at them, they got these like monster teeth. They're like miniature piranhas. Okay, crab. I haven't had one of these before. Oh, why not? Cool name. They call them a Sally Lightfoot crab. They're actually reef safe with a few caveats. It's a cool cleaner shrimp for you. And let's see, more crabs. Lots of crabs on this order. Apparently I was feeling crabby when I did my orders on Monday. These are Thai micro crabs. Freshwater crab going with the shrimp. Don't get bigger than about, maybe a nickel. I don't think they get up to a quarter size, so that's why they call them a micro crab, I expect. Let's see, who else? Purple firefish. Had one last week, sold it right away. A little more expensive than the last one, but still a pretty good price for a purple firefish. Very cool variety. These are hermit crabs. Are you doing all right there, buddy? Why are you sticking out like that? Doesn't seem natural to me.
Well, there's a few in there.
Yeah, I got a group of them in there. That guy looks like maybe he didn't make the trip. I don't see him moving. These are, oh, no, he moved. These are the blue knuckle hermit crabs from the Marshall Islands. My friends that did work in the Marshall Islands the last 2 years saw those when they were out just chilling on the beach. Copper band butterfly, very popular fish. A little bit challenging to get these guys started. Once you get them on mice and shrimp, they'll do great for you. Beautiful reef cleaner. And next up is some feather dusters. Feather dusters are they got a little tube worm and they stick the little fan out and then they catch stuff as it goes by. It's kind of a fun thing to throw on your reef tank. So those are something a little different. Here's another one of those cardinals, but it looks like, no. Yeah, he's still there. Looks like he was a little roughed up in shipping. We'll see if he comes out of it. Let's grab a couple more bags here. We got another Sally Lightfoot, a lot smaller than the other one. And a horseshoe crab. He's on his back. They do that. We can't figure out which way's up sometimes. They actually can get really big. When they're small like this, they make good deterrence cleaners in your tank. When they get bigger, you got to have a space for them because they actually are, if they do well for you, they can be quite large. Another Bengal. So I got 3 of those little cardinals, a nice little school. Let's check these guys out. Some more crabs, because again, I was feeling crabby. Yeah. These are emerald crabs. Emerald crabs are great for cleanup crew. They're one of the best things to eat bubble algae out of your reef tank. Bubble algae is incredibly obnoxious if you're not familiar with it. It can just take over and clog up all your stuff. Ask me how I know. Oh,
look at that.
Yeah, look at that guy. I think that's the first time we've ever actually gotten one. I've ordered them a couple times. Note the round shape. You're going to probably have a pretty good guess what kind of fish it is. Round, and some people call them a blowfish.
Oh,
yeah,
blowfish.
Yeah, a puffer.
Puffer. Yeah.
Puffer. This is a dogface puffer for obvious reasons.
You say you've ordered them before, but
yeah, I've ordered the dogface before. I haven't gotten them before. Let's see. Here we have some dojos, freshwater side again. The golden dojos. Remember, those guys can be an 11-inch fish, so you take them on, know that they're going to get pretty big.
Where are they from?
They're Asiatic. I'm not exactly sure where on the map they're from, but they're from Asia. And then here's another saltwater. That's a nice looking sailfin. Almost looks like a desert Jardinio. Nice stripes on that. And a sailfin is such a beautiful fish. Nice tang. And here's another tang to finish up the order. That is a Tomini flame fin. So very cool. Well, thanks a bunch for standing in with us, Ben. It's really good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, and thanks for having me.
I'm not going to tease you too much about not getting the fish gene, because lucky for you, I mean, lucky for most, I may have been the only one in the family that got the fish gene. But it's good to see you, bro.
Absolutely.